After 2 successful days in the field, we're now here at Thompson Engineering's office, and now we're going to work for the data processing. We've got the photogrammetry to work to today, and then we've also got the point cloud that Ross and NEI has already processed for us to review. So I'm really excited to see this data and see what we can actually do with it.
Now we're back at the office. We've had 2 successful days of flying. We're really excited to dig into the data. We have Jason Gibson. He's one of our PLS that's here on staff. He's going to start looking at the photogrammetry, the ortho. He's going to start getting stuff processed so we can in turn get the ortho mosaic so we can start colorizing the LiDAR that we will eventually get to see from microdrones. All right, Jason, where are we at? You've got the first 2 flights. You're starting your...
The first 2 flights in POSPAC have been processed. We're about to roll into flight number 3. What you're gonna do first is you're gonna save the file path in POSPAC to whatever folder you're gonna be working in, so all your files go directly to that folder. Then we're gonna bring the T04 file in, which is the actual flight trajectories. We'll go ahead and do that, bring it in, and wait for it to load. Okay, as you can see on the screen, we have the actual flight paths, the raw flight paths before being translated, which were performed out in the field. So the next step would be to bring in the 21.0 file. Okay, this will be used to correct the actual flight lines, to put them in the correct place real world. So you can see the base, the static base is in there, which will be used to correct the flight lines. So now before anything else is done, we have to set the project parameters up like they should be, which will be in project settings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the lever arm settings, which, you know, based off memory, I know what they're supposed to look like. I know what's supposed to be in there. Your export, you're gonna change the settings and export to a custom smooth bet file, which will be the corrected flight lines based off the static session. I'm going to change it to orthometric and put it in geoid 18 zone 7. And I'm going to set up the mapping frame as NAD83 2011. Now we're going to put the correct base station coordinates in. And now I'm going to set my base station for the project. So as you can see, the base came in perfect, fixed solution 100%. But that's what we always want to look for. And now I'm about to create the SBET file, which is the corrected flight trajectories.
Yeah, Jason, that looks good. We're excited to see what this, how well this ortho turns out. We're also looking forward to a demo of MD Infinity today. We're excited to see what MD Infinity can do for us. It's going to streamline that whole process.
We had a great week out here at the USS Alabama Battleship Park, and pretty excited to look at this data. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have some fun surprises as far as what we've collected here. So we're going to use MD Infinity and its data viewer. This is actually MD Infinity Desktop. So we've dropped the LAS file in here that Ross has already processed for us from NEI.
Yeah, we're really excited to see what this looks like, you know.
I am too. I've got some expectations. I wonder if they're going to be met, honestly. So
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah.
So here we have the overall site. A couple of things I want to mention right quick. Right here we got this group of trees that are definitely shaped like the state of Alabama. We talked about that when we were on site, and now that I can see the point cloud, that's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
But I know what everybody wants to see here is the battleship.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and kind of take a look at it. Now, there's many different types of material on this ship. Some definitely reflect the LiDAR data better than others.
Right.
So there's going to be some areas where we have voids,
Yes.
just because of the color of and type of material that the light was actually reflecting off of. But as you can see, I mean, we got a lot of great data across the battleship there. Now, there's going to be shadows. Like I said, here's one area we didn't get a lot of data. This is a place that was painted, flat black, so we didn't see a whole lot there.
Right.
But most of the boat was gray, so we got good reflection off of it. Now, the rest of the site, I mean, it looks like we have got definitely a lot of great information for topo, that's for sure.
Yes, yes.
Point density is great, coverage is great. So as far as a use for this data, I mean, these guys are definitely going to be able to use this for topo data for sure.
That's right.
And then we'll be able to do planimetric work as well. You know, for example here, the building footprints, actually we've got enough information, you know, on the sides of the buildings even to be able to do location work or extraction, you know, from the point cloud because of just the sheer amount of data we have on the sides of the building.
Yes, yes.
So there's, you know, many aspects that can be, this data can be used for.
That's right.
No, I think the HR did a pretty good job out here. Definitely going to be usable for the park for sure. So anyway, so let's go ahead and move over to MD Infinity if you're interested in checking that out.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, you know, like I said, this is the data viewer that we were using. There's all kinds of settings in here that you can set to change the colorization of the point cloud. There's ways once it's actually classified that you can come in and, you know, of course, filter it based on the classification. So anyway, so let's move on from the data viewer. So moving into the LiDAR modules, we have bore sight calibration, which is typically done, you know, when you're setting your system up or, you know, after you've maybe had some shipping that's going on or something like that. We have, you know, we've already talked about trajectory processing, but georeferencing is the next step in that workflow. Then we have strip adjustment, which more or less refines the position between each individual strip. And then we have precision enhancement, which more or less is for denoising the cloud. We also have some tools that you can use in the field for quality control. More or less, you can just check your trajectory data when you're out in the field. So that way you know for sure before you leave the site that you've got what you need there, as well as the LiDAR coverage preview. Again, that's just to make sure that you've covered the site. So after taking a look at the data here, what do you think so far?
To me, the data speaks for itself, right? I mean, just looking at the point cloud here, how dense and still crisp around the buildings, even on these planes, cars in the parking lot, just all the different details that are here, right? Mm-hmm. And it will, you know, once we extract our ground surface from this, you know, the topographic survey that we give the park itself for them to be able to do some improvements that they're looking to do.
So it definitely is going to meet their needs, you believe?
I believe so, yes, without a doubt. So the overall experience with everybody that was involved with this particular project, the park, Microdrones, NEI, and then our department as well with Thompson Engineering, I think it worked out really well. Everybody's personalities meshed well. Our experiences, we leaned off of each other's experiences with the drones and just surveying and all the other aspects. So it was a very good overall experience.